Okay, hello, and sorry because now I'm just having some internet or Wi-Fi issues, but here we are. So, hi, welcome to the Audi chat. Um, my name is Monico Mania. I'm the MCPPM, and also I'm in charge of all the OD stuff. And so I hope this space will be very useful for you. And at the end, we will have like a Q&A space. So you can, if you have some questions or some other doubts, and we can talk about it at the end, okay? And to start, I will give you like a general the introduction about what are we working on in this area. So actually, the OD role is understand the reality of an entity, keep the track of the flow in all the process that we have in the entity, not only in operations, also with all the back office departments with taking care of the health of the entity, and also define development points because OD is basically the main department that it's constantly checking all the areas and all the things or all the process that we work in an entity to ensure the development of the entity, defining different points, but also keeping tracking the flow of the entity. And at the end, OD has some MOS. So we have like the numbers of LCs growing, the number of LCs achieving their plans, also the number of LCs products jumping tiers. This specifically, we're going to see it a little bit more um, forward, and also the number of LCs jumping clusters and the percentage of achievement in product development index and also health development index, which are the both index in the OD model. Um, to putting you in the context of OD in ISEC in Costa Rica. So first, before 2016 or also part of 2017, there was no official work in OD stuff. So the MCs just implement some basic stuff in the process, but there was no like a person only in charge of the area and all this stuff. So OD was not a reality in ISEC in Costa Rica in that years. So then in 2018, which was the last year, the last MC started working some process, and but there was not also like an official department of OD, but they started some base or started the basis of, for example, but it was not like an official, and it was not consolidated. It has just a lot of work to finish. So in the term when I started being MC PM, so we consolidate the BMC docs, consolidated, and we also put all the indexes, also we consolidate all the clusters and contains the OD model. And semester we started working OD manager specifically. So has been helping for the people to implement more because we don't have like a specific department or just one person in charge of OD. Because I am in charge of all that, and that's the main reason about it's kind of difficult to run all the OD process just with one person. So we are like an OD DBOD. Okay, thank you, there again. I don't know if I was talking, you could hear me or not, but okay, I will continue. And if you understood something, I can repeat it at the end. Okay, so you maybe can write on the chat at the end if there is no knowledge about the things that I was talking about. Okay, so the last things I was saying were the evolution that we will have this year in OD, because as I was saying, we're going to work all this semester with the OD manager and also myself, and I hope that the next semester we will have like a person just working in all the OD department as an MCDT. Okay, so now with the OD processes, I just put everything like in this split in the processes, because for me is easier for you to understand what are we working on and what other stuff we're not working on or we have to improve a lot. So I think it's better in this way. Okay, so in the first process, which is design, we have the implementation of OD model, because as I told you, we consolidate all the OD model in the last semester, and also we started the education about all the OD stuff in the network. Why? Because uh, like before there was not an OD model or growth paths or nothing that can drive the LCs to plan in a way that they could think in a long term vision. So that was the reason about the LCs maybe had a lot of products running, and maybe if they are not, maybe if they were not getting the best performance in all of them, and also like the structures were not the best ones for the reality of the old DLC. So all this change management was started with the consolidation of the OD model that started last semester. Okay, so we also create the clustering system, the tiering system, and also the expansion guidelines, because we had like an expansion or a basic expansion model, but it needs needed, sorry, um, a lot of improvement. So we work on the consolidation also of the expansion model guidelines. In the part of growth, which is the second process of OD process, um, we created the growth paths. So we established the what needs to focus on each department to increase the product development index and also the health development index, depending on the tier that they will run in each product, and also the clusters that they are on. So the all these stuff like the OD model, it's in a file that I think Jennifer created for you, and so you can find it there and read it, and also understand which are the main indexes that we are taking in account to make the clusters, because we have like three clusters. Cluster one is like the bravest, the cluster two is daring, and the cluster three is innovative. So as I'm gonna tell you all this at the end. Okay. And now with the third process, we have network. So the things that we are really implementing are ICOM, all the internet communication system, with the different channels and all of that. And also like the conference cycle. Okay, we also align the conference, which conference is only for EDIS, which conference is for all the network, which part of the conference will be like an LC conference only, and all this. And with the ICOM, we also created the strategies of the internal communication each month, and how can we align um, the month of the semester about the message that we want to transmit to the LCs, and how can we communicate all this stuff. And also we with the network, we need to improve a lot the coaching system, like the LC coaches. We run the LC coaches, but I think that there is a lot of things to improve in this way. So because now we work like in the pretty basic stuff, and I think we can evolve a lot this system, because the LC coaches are one of the key, like the master key, I don't know how to say it, to have a better implementation about the strategies at local level and in a national level. So we need a lot to improve the coaching system. Also with the EST management, um, the same. We we implement we have ESDs and we implement a lot of things with them, but I think the strategies and all the management needs to improve a lot with the ESDs specifically, and also the rewards and recognition campaign. Now we're having like an evolution, but I think this is something very important that it's also always needs to improve like constantly. The fourth process is the LC management. So the things that we are implementing very well are like the LC transition and also the frameworks about LC planning and LC replanning, and also the the presence of the LC coaches in these spaces. But now we're working on entity governance. Is something that is not totally implemented, but it's not totally in a bad way. So we are working a lot in setting a lot of basis in this stuff like entity governance, and we also need to improve a lot the LC elections. I put the LC analysis between working on and need to improve, because it's something that we're working on, so it's not forgetting. But we need to improve a lot these things. So it's in the middle because it's something that we're trying to improve little by little, but it's not the main focus now. So that's the thing that is there. And the fifth process, sorry, is knowledge. So with this process, we have the implementation of the SONA monthly. We run a SONA monthly, but also we need to improve a lot the SONA reporting. Like not the way about the LC's report to us. Um, it's more like the way that we as AMC report all the results and the analysis that we made about the SONA. So that's the thing that we need to evolve in, or maybe change the way about we collect the SONA data. And also we have the MC transition, which is something that we are implementing very well. But we need to improve also the information accessibility to the network about different things. And it's also related to the SONA reporting, all the analysis that we made with those data. So how can we improve all the information accessibility? And okay, now I'm going to talk about a little bit more about the clusters in the current entities. So as you know, we have 5 local entities. 4 of them are local committees and 1 is an extension, which is just boring. It's just we're creating on this new extension, which is Punta Arenas. So in the clusters, we have, as I told you, we have 3 clusters. The Innovator is the cluster 3, Daring is the cluster 2, and Bravis is the cluster 1. And we have the extensions, okay? So all the local committees are in the cluster 3. Why? First, because of the change management that I was telling to you, that in the last semester was the first time that we make a clusterization of the LCs. So they need to start it, or actually they were not like the best performers, like in operations, or they were not like the best. They didn't have like the best health in their LCs. So it was difficult because it's like kids of change management, so they didn't have like all the criteria to be in the daring cluster, for example, or in the bravest. So we decided to put all of them in innovator cluster, so to take like a start point for them. And now we were going to have like the next update of these clusters in February, because we did it, we make it, sorry, every 6 months. Okay, so now we have all the LCs in Innovator, but also I want to tell you more about the a general reality of the health and also the product development index in each LC. So for example, UCR is one LC that has a really good performance, especially in ICX, but they have real problems in health. So not only in membership, so in finance also, and they also have problems with the OGV, which is the um, focus product. Okay, so that's like a general assessment of UCR. Now with UNA we have like a good performance, especially in OGV. But they need to take care a little bit more in IGV, for example. But in health, they are really good, actually. They are like the ones with the best health of the LCs. With Occidente, we have like we have a real good performance in operations, but and we have like because of that we have a real good health in finance, but in membership they have really some problems. Like the last semester they had a lot of problems with membership, so now we're working on improve all these things, and also like they improve the health index, so they can cross or jump to the next cluster. And also we have tech, which is a local committee that has um, more problems in operations performing, in also it's most in all the products, and they had good health in membership, but not in financial way, because of because they didn't have performance in operations, so it's kind of difficult to have more health in the finance stuff. So that's a general assessment about all the local entities and why they are in innovator cluster, and what are the things that we need to improve or to evolve or to work on to help them or support them to jump to clusters. So the the main thing that I was that in the next term maybe we have more LCs in dairy, or the I'm sorry, the majority of the LCs in dairy, and maybe some of them in Braves. You can find all the criteria and all the index that we're taking in account for the LCs to can jump or not for the cluster. So you can check it out in the OD model document. And now, well, with Punta Arenas, which is an extension, it's all at least it's just um, burning to say it like that. So we don't have data about them yet. So we're going to start to analyze and collect the data of this new extension in this semester. And also some other things that I didn't told you are the extensions. Now we're working only with this extension, which is Punta Arenas, but we want to develop more extensions in the entity. So now we have like 2 pilot projects with UNA and with UCR. So we want to explore different territories in Costa Rica. So, for example, UCR is going to work more the Liberia, which is another city in Costa Rica, and La Una is going to start working on Alajuela, which is another city also too. So these are the bases, and we want to develop more extensions. So some things that you need to take in count if you want to be MCPOD is that all these extensions is thinking in a long-term vision. So how I hope that you can have some strategies to evolve more the expansions and the extensions in the entity, and also taking in account how you can improve or can make some strategies to make these LCs jump to another clusters, because we need, or we really want to have like development in all the entities and not only just one. So that was my part. So now we have like a Q&A space, and if you have some questions, you can write it down in the chat. So I will give you like 2 minutes, and I will be answering the questions here. Okay, I think no one has some questions, so thank you so much for watching this chat. And if you have more questions or you want to talk about um, something else, like in more specific way, you can approach me at my email, which is peoplemanagement at isecr.org. And also you can approach me at my WhatsApp number, which uh, you can find in the application booklet. So that was all, and sorry for the Wi-Fi issues, because I didn't know that the PPT was not showing up, and in a moment the broadcast, I think, was stopped. But I'm sorry. I hope you understood all the things that I was talking. And if it's not, again, you can contact me or approach me in some channels. So thank you so much, and bye.